Hello.
How goes?
Tired. Was out running errands all day. Got my physical for marching band.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, I'm sure you had no problems there.
Yeah.
No, you're not late. You're actually the first person to check in. I'm late to turn on the thing. When does marching band fire up for you?
I believe camp starts on the 17th, but I'm not sure when the first game is.
Gotcha. I'll be here before you know it.
Yep.
Let's see here.
Yep.
And howdy. I heard you there, maybe.
We are having the microphone shuffle.
Right.
The other set of microphones is not even connecting to the computers.
Well, that is unfortunate. And howdy.
How we going?
So how goes?
Going good. The Thunderhead just broke here in Murfreesboro.
Yeah, I'm looking at the radar. It's going to be moving in here soon.
Yeah, it was actually slower than I anticipated. They were saying it's supposed to be here by 1.
Hit here earlier.
Yeah. And how to see?
What's happening, gentlemen?
We're all kind of wandering in here.
I got you.
You said you jokingly posted the lights are blinking. They may be literally true here before long.
Yeah, so we got another round coming, eh?
Yeah.
All warning lights.
There was a pretty good squall in Huntsville when we got out of the movie theater, but
I would say.
I went to see the new Indy.
Yeah.
And me and Logan went last week. And
Hello.
Hello.
I can't see.
Yeah, hold on.
yeah, look,
You don't have to see us.
Yeah. Yeah, here, hold on.
There's a lot to say today. Yeah, and howdy Neff, how goes?
Good evening. How are y'all?
Yeah, we're hanging in there.
10 fingers, 10 toes.
Hard to tell sometimes.
I like Chris's shirt.
Which Chris?
The one with the white shirt.
Oh, yes. Everything hurts. That's what it says.
Yeah.
Red shirt, Chris. I can't see if there's anything writing on it. It could just be a red shirt.
yeah,
Which is a very dangerous thing to be wearing tonight.
It'd be very appropriate, yeah.
I had to actually change before I got on camera. So I need to get Logan a blue one.
My shirt is brown, so I feel safe.
That's the brown pants.
Yeah. Yeah, the front of my shirt says everything hurts on the back. It's actually a gravestone with a Grim Reaper sitting on it. It says everything hurts. I thought it'd be very fitting for this game.
Yeah, last game was everybody got beat up a bit. Or at least the ship did, and some individuals did.
You may want to hold on to that shirt for Ravenloft too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Balsar definitely is feeling it.
All right, Logan, that's your cue maniacal laugh.
Just have it on a soundboard. Vincent Price laughing.
I picked up a game called Valkyrie Elysium, which is a Square Enix game that was on sale during the summer sale. And it's very much Final Fantasy hack and slash, right? But Odin in that game is like Strahd. He's like sitting in that little throne, talking with a very superior attitude, almost the exact same pose as you see Strahd in the cover of the book. And I'm just like, interesting take on Odin.
Oh, Mr. PC, I expect you to die. Yeah.
I think what's notable about that is you have a lot of Japanese produced material based on Western tradition, but the Japanese writers who make it aren't necessarily tied to the stereotypes of Western tradition. So they're free to do whatever the hell they want. And you get just a huge variety of takes on things. And it's, yeah.
Hi, guys.
Hello. How's it going?
Hello.
Come down, come in the engine room.
Yeah, we see you. We see Thing there.
Yeah.
So.
How are y'all?
We're hanging in there.
Logan's in there somewhere. I heard his voice a minute ago.
Oh, yeah.
Hello.
There's a hello. Yeah.
I'm in the process of spinning some yarn.
Why are you lying?
So are we.
Different kind. But I think I came up with the company name.
Oh,
Storm Crow Yarn.
You know, she's going to start selling colored yarns of custom blends.
Oh, nice.
oh, okay. I got you. Cool.
So that's what she's doing. She's taking cat hair and making yarn out of it, basically.
So is that why we haven't seen the cats on
Well,
camera?
I have
They're
other
running?
hair, I had to resort to cats.
You see what happened?
Exactly.
Come to our house with a sweeper. We've got all the source material you could want.
Oh, we've got plenty too, trust me.
We got goats next door. We'll be all set. Yeah.
I'm waiting to hear the news reports on the mysterious shaved cats showing up all over town.
Where's Willow? Yeah.
Who would recognize them as cats? You'd think they're rats or anything but a cat.
There's been a resurgence of naked mole rats in the city today.
What? Did you see my name?
I should be up here in a minute.
I just had to say hi.
Well, good to see you. Glad that you actually had some time off.
Yeah.
Yeah, we has a date day. Went to Huntsville and watched a movie. Had some lunch and a supper, and quit tearing up my chair.
There you go.
What movie did you see?
Here, put the brown thing back over.
Yep.
She won't pick it if it's just a...
There.
Okay.
Just damn it.
Yep. Just be
But-
careful.
I'm going to get back to it.
Okay.
Love you. Have fun.
Okay. Let me where's yours? I see.
I think you said the new indie movie.
It was superior to 4. And it was a good send-off. He plays a reluctant hero in this one. Not quite so damned to torpedoes. Which was good. Damn it, don't you start cheering up a cheer too.
Alrighty. If we may see Stephen or E if they wake up from their respective naps.
Yeah.
So I guess we'll
Always
just
say
go ahead
they're
and
sick,
that's right. So we'll just dive in. If somebody wants to share their screen,
I can do that.
and I'll warn you in advance, I haven't had as much prep time as I like, but we'll make do.
If we just go for 20 minutes, it's fine.
No, I think we can manage a bit more than that. All right. So let's see here. Yep. Let me get this out of the way. And over here. All right. So you might look over to the planet to the right, down and to the right, I think, which is where you all are. And do you remember where you parked?
We were trying to figure out who's pulling who.
Yeah, we were telling. Sorry, I'm only going awry right now. We were towing back the von Steuben after we narrowly survived, dealing with a newly revealed foe.
New foe appears. And you hadn't quite left yet. You were waiting on the Excalibur to show up, because they were just a few hours out. So let's just go straight there. Let's see. So the engine's basically glowing red hot. The Excalibur pops out of warp, enters orbit next to you guys, and you've basically been hunkering down, fixing what you can, looking at the situation on the von Steuben and realizing it's hopeless. She's a mess. Do I have that picture here? No, I don't. Star Trek.
Captain's in his chair saying, "This is fine."
Yeah, my chair's fine. What's the problem? So let's save that here. And if you give me a moment, I'm sure you haven't seen it because I put it in the Discord. Just thinking about it, pondering. There it is. And there it is. That's what's left of the von Steuben. Now, if you recall, she looks basically just like the Carson. One nacelle slung underneath, one saucer section. Yeah, she was ripped to shreds by that D7. And it's a miracle that she was able to bring to bear what she could. You've had engineering teams over there, and I'll talk about Brooklyn in a moment, to evaluate the situation, and their opinion, and the opinion that you get, by the way, is from Chief Luce, not Brooklyn. Again, explain it in a moment. That the best thing to do is shut her down, render her safe, because her systems are is to rip her apart if she remains powered on, and take her under tow back to base, and let them figure out what they want to do. Meanwhile, you have 10 survivors of the crew. That means that over 100 perished during the battle, including the senior officers. So one of those survivors was Robert's character, but as Robert is not here, all 10 of them basically are being taken to sickbay for, let's talk about this. You've been through a lot, so let's decompress a moment. And that's what's going on with those folks. The other situation is what to do. You got 3. What to do about damage aboard Carson, which is significant. When you have a moment to breathe and you're back over there hunkered down, everybody behind the base and waiting for Klingons to show up, waiting for the Excalibur to reinforce you, you realize just how bad it was. And because that's one of the natures of this sort of thing. When the ship is, for being a scout ship, it's not small. It's every bit of 1,000 feet long.
Yeah.
15 decks, 8 or 9 in the main saucer section, but 15 decks if you count the dorsal. 100 people spread across all that. If you're in sick bay, if you're in the bridge, if you're in engineering, you don't have a clue what's going on in other parts of the ship. So when you feel a hit, as you were many times, those of you on the bridge during that battle, that means that somebody just got hurt, killed. You don't know until after everything settles down. It takes you a good hour to get the damage control teams everywhere they need to be and things to be locked down. And you realize that in the end result, you were damn lucky. The major strike against the Carson, if you remember, was you had a direct hit by the primary heavy disruptor cannon on the D7. The most devastating weapon, short of getting a barrage of photon torpedoes to the chin, that she can bring to bear. The end analysis shows that strike ripped through the shields, what was left of them, raked up across the nacelle, which is why you can't enter warp right now, because the nacelle itself is damaged. Up the dorsal, so pretty much half of the decks on the dorsal were ripped open to space.
Yeah.
And then ended as a direct hit to the port impulse engine. And here's where we talk about Brooklyn. The port impulse engine, the impulse engines generally, are right next to main engineering.
Yeah.
On starships, most things that actually require power to move, the most energetic bits are close to the exterior of the vessel. So that's why you have main engineering isn't buried in the middle of the ship. In order to power the engines, the power has to go to where the engines are. So the main engineering, the best place for it, the safest place in some respects, for the ship anyway, is right there, close to the surface, but unfortunately rather exposed. I don't know why they put bridges right there on top like a big target. That's just Starfleet being stupid, but there you are. They don't have to be, but engineering does. So when the port nacelle took that direct hit, all hell broke loose in main engineering. And we'll cut to this scene. Let's get a medical roll from Melry there.
All right.
Now, you basically rolled many times during the fight to deal with the chaos of it. This time, you're actually rolling for a specific patient. Well, who we'll talk about in a moment.
Now, it's control medicine. Is that correct?
Yep. Control, medicine. This will be emergency medicine and trauma surgery. So you can add a couple focuses there.
Okay. Oh,
Let's see here.
all right. Why did my roll not go through? Oh, probably because I didn't click the right thing.
Okay. And go ahead and do that again. Because you
Oh,
would have, you're adding focus. Okay. Really good. So in all, you get about, the crew's about 110 folks. 15 people in sickbay as a result of the battle.
Right.
5 of them seriously injured. 1 of them is Lieutenant Brickley. You don't know what happened to him, but it looks like the entirety of main engineering, everybody that was in that compartment, is in sickbay at the end of it. Not everybody came there immediately, but after the battle's done, they crawl in. Some of them looks like they had work to do and stayed at their stations. So too did Bricklin. And we'll get to what happened in a moment. Bricklin is so badly injured as a result of whatever happened. He's got, it looks like one side of him was slammed into a wall. The other side suffered plasma burns. But what is astounding to you is he was not one of that first group to come down. He was one of the latter group after the battle. He comes down there. He's being helped down there by Chief Luce, the Tellarite, who's actually the senior CO on the ship. Luce himself has some plasma burns and pretty seriously hurt, but he's making sure Bricklin gets there, along with at least 10 other folks from main engineering. Like I said, you had 15 casualties, but most of them were engineers because of that one hit. He doesn't tell you what happened, and you don't ask because you're too damn busy making sure people don't die. But in the end, he's your most seriously injured person. You remember you have a surgeon. So you and your surgeon and pretty much most of the team end up working on Bricklin for about 3 hours.
Okay.
To make sure that, okay, he comes in and out, it's touch and go. But at the end of it, and at some point, Cap, you're informed about that, the fact that right now main engineering is actually in vacuum. And it's the auxiliary engineering that's controlling engineering function. The only way they can get him in engineering is in suits. Let's see. You're like, okay, I knew we got hit pretty bad back there, but damn. So let me see here. Looking up names. Okay, so yeah, based on all the rolls you did last week and the roll you just did now, nobody dies. You managed to pull them through. But also there's one other roll that Bricklin did. Basically, what did you do when the hit came? And he got 5 successes.
That's how come I'm alive now.
Yeah, that's in this system, most things need 2 successes, and then you have going up from there 3, 4, 5. You're talking like legendary territory. Yeah. So you just pulled off a legendary feat.
All right.
And it was this. As you're waking up, oh, that's what I was looking for. As you're waking up and drifting in and out of consciousness, you've completely lost track of time and sense of space. So you, at that moment, the last thing you remember was you had just ordered a team to go in. You were going to try to overload power to the impulse engines because we were all going to die if that thing catches us.
Yeah.
So you The team was heading into the Jeffrey tubes, and the next thing you know, just all hell broke loose. That team was saved from being pulled out into space by the fact that they had just gotten into the tube and sealed it behind them. Then boom. But not so much 5 other people that were still in main engineering, including yourself and Luz. So as the compartment is venting, and that vent, the pressure differential is what pulled you across the room and smashed you against one of the intermix chambers hard, thus broken bones, and splashed the other side of your body with just plasma from the broken conduits, thus plasma burns. It was you, Luz, and the 3 other guys in that chamber that managed to get into suits and hold the fort long enough for the ship to get through the battle. That's a legendary role. Doesn't help you in the end because you're still really fucked up. So as you're beginning to drift in and out of consciousness, you realize first off, you're in sick bay. And I keep looking for something, and I keep not finding it. Maybe this is it. All right. Oh, yeah, I guess so.
No.
Yeah. Oh, but that doesn't last long because you're conscious for maybe 5 seconds and wondering what happened to engineering. You know, where'd engineering go? And then back out.
Did I get blown this far?
Yeah, you got blown all the way to sick bay. That's like up a deck and back, forward rather. So that's Brickland, according to all reports, because you do get a report from Chief Luce, who is not as badly injured as Brickland was, as to what happened in main engineering after that. You, Cap, get a report. So you're just amazed that they pulled off a miracle. They kept the ship going at a time that if we'd stopped, we were all dead. Okay. Just file that away. That's a legendary sort of act. That's the situation you're in. Still getting things working, still repairing damage, still getting your crew sorted when the Excalibur shows up. So, Anton Harris, captain of the Excalibur, who you've met at least once before. Person, places, people. Let me search for it. Oh, okay. I'm not going to spend forever looking for it, but pretty sure I had him right there, but I guess not. Okay, anyway. Calls you up, Belmont, and it lets you know that they didn't encounter those Klingons on the way in. They've been in touch with the Commodore and with talking to Starfleet based on what happened here between the battle between you and the von Steuben and those 2 Klingon ships. The Starfleet's going to send a reinforcement task force, but it's going to take some time. The immediate concern is looking after you and figuring out where they're headed next. What are those Klingons actually up to?
And I tell him my theory. This was a weapons test. Plain and simple. They wanted to see the capabilities of these weapons using their tactics, and it works. 100%.
Dreadfully so.
Now, we would think, as being members of Starfleet, that the number 1 threat would be the Starbase. But that would be, in my opinion, stupid. Even for a revenge crazy Klingon exile. Even as sneaky as they can be, there's no way, even with these weapons, that they would take it on after what just happened. Starbase is on lockdown, that sector is secure. I think they're going after the Klingon Council.
All right. So convince me. What sort of evidence do you have?
They're an exile house that this ship has met before. And I tell them about the incident before with the other mining colony and show them the decal and everything on everything that we recorded and found during that incident. And I tell them everything that's happened, it has made us weak in the sense of us getting supplies. But talking with the ambassador, they're an exiled house because they're mad that the Klingon Council ended the war. And I think they took that personally. And I think they want to remake the Klingon Empire with them at the lead. Because Klingons, you never really know where the loyalties lie, but they respect one thing, and that's strength and cunning, how much of a warrior they are. And if he can take out that council, all Klingon ships, houses, the majority of them will pledge fealty to them, and they can renew their war effort. We don't know their true numbers. It would just be an insurgency against us, and they're already on the bad side of the Klingon Empire themselves. That's the smartest play. It's their territory. They know where to go. But it's just a theory.
Unfortunately, it's a damn good one. What would be served by reigniting tensions with the Federation directly when their own ambassador has pretty much said what you just said about the nature of their house, trying to distance themselves?
Probably some old grudge that is labeled with a top secret sticker that's above our clearance. And I tell him what our ambassador indulged to me about the devices that we found.
No, that definitely gets a raised eyebrow out of him, because he hadn't been fully in that loop.
Yeah. So I bring him up to date on that. I say those are made for a specific reason, to kill Klingons. So I think there's parties on both sides that want the war to come back.
Or at least party on the Federation side wouldn't mind if a bunch of Klingons killed a bunch of other Klingons.
That too. Klingons kill Klingons, the war is renewed. They can come out of the shadows and say, hey, we have the solution to solve all your Klingon problems. There's just one catch, though. We have to be in charge.
He leans back. He's in his office right now, just you and he talking. What a mess. All right,
Literally.
let's look after your ship and your crew. There's nothing more we can do about the von Steuben. We have that freighter that you captured. We can have it tow her back to Gander Station. When do you think you'll be operational, able to get underway?
I'll have to get
Probably
with my chiefs.
Couple of days. You're just what they're telling you. They want to get back to the point they can pump air back in engineering.
Yeah. And do warp.
All right. Excalibur's at your disposal. Anything you need from us, you have it. In the meantime, I think somebody has to do it, but we're going to beam down to the colony and try to sort through the casualties there. Set up morgues.
It's not pretty, but we have some footage that was with the crew of the captured tug, just in case we didn't make it, but I'll forward that to you as well.
All right. So I think our work is going to keep us a few days, but in the meantime, I keep saying that, but there's so much to do and so few of us. I don't want to leave Gander Station and the construction site without defense. So the Agrippa stays there. And even though I think you're probably right about the ultimate goals of these Klingons, that doesn't mean they won't be hostile if they encounter an inferior force, one destroyer versus a
Correct.
D7. So I'm worried about the Sadat. He brings up the big map. And we are all here with the last known location of those two Klingon cruisers. Sadat was still trying to suppress a holdout base in Tenzikar. If indeed those Klingons are trying to gather allies, those holdout bases are probably natural resources for them. Wouldn't be too much of an ask for them to go there and reinforce, take out the Sadat, and take the survivors and keep on going.
And we definitely damaged the ship enough. That's definitely the safest and best route for them to go.
All right. The best we can do right now is warn the Sadat about what might be coming. Again, we're dealing with what it's common in this region, small mining outposts. They're not quite as large as the one here, but still a few thousand people. You can't exactly evacuate that on a destroyer.
Yeah. There's also another safety concern, just to be safe. Our ambassador is still at Delta Borealis. With that world, just to be on the safe side, it wouldn't hurt to have a team go out there and evac her.
Yeah, I'll talk to the Commodore about that. The ambassador may have other ideas. She seems to be quite strong-minded.
Yeah, it's one word. One word. Not the one I'd use.
All right. Like it or not, as soon as you're back ready to move, and as soon as we've got things sorted here, it's going to be Carson's job to try to flush these folks out. You've still got the best sensors in the sector. So if anybody can find them, it's going to be you.
We'll do our best, sir. That's all we can do.
Yeah. Good luck to you, Captain. Air us out. And replace with a picture of the Excalibur right there. A heavy scene. Yeah, you finally perhaps are coming to the realization of just how close you came. That was awfully damn lucky that the Steuben was able to get those licks in, give you a chance to get your licks in, and they caused them to back off. When you think about it, the Excalibur herself, one of the pride heavy cruisers of the fleet, is pretty much an equal footing with a similarly equipped D7. All right. Logan and Neff, let's get a couple of rolls from you.
I was going to ask how many of the von Steuben people did I get blood samples from when they were getting emergency medical treatment before anybody noticed something fishy was going on and I left.
You can roll for that. You will. Okay. From Logan, I'll need one roll. From Neff, I'll need two. So let's figure out what the rolls are.
Would you let Neff roll a D10?
Yeah. All right, here we go. Let's do this. So let's see. Logan, your science guy. It'll be reason, science, assisted by the ship's sensors. All right. So far, so good. And the ship, it'll be like the computer or rather sensor science. You're way ahead of me. Okay, so just one. And same sort of thing from you, Neff. Without the benefit of the ship sensors, just your roll.
Okay. Is this something I might have a focus on?
It might. Let's see. Let's Calvin. Blum, blum. Yeah, we'll give you one.
Yay.
Yay. See if it helped. My God. Okay. And I'll do the same for Logan. Let's see. Hector. Oh, we never filled in your focuses. Yeah. Okay. Now, in any case, I just noticed that.
Yeah, mine too. I missed them.
Yeah, no, it's all good. So, Calvin, you do successfully get purloin some blood samples It's actually not difficult because the deck is still rather slippery. They make it look so clean and pristine in the Star Trek TV shows, but that's just for the ratings. Even in the future, being injured sucks and leaks. So, yes, you can have all the blood samples you like. The roll for what you just rolled for, though, was several hours into the recovery. Things are getting back under control as the storm begins to roll in here. So you're able to get back to your lab, which survived the battle, I will note. The other science lab on that deck did not. It's probably to everyone's benefit yours did rather than the other.
I
And
agree.
start doing your experiments again. Which leads you to an odd discovery. You were told, and verified, in fact, that there were no life signs on the planet below, not at least life signs of intelligence, of humanoid life. The Federation colonists, miners that were there had all perished. But that's not what your sensors show. You're looking at comparing notes. There's something there. It's well hidden, but there's something there.
Captain, requesting shuttle access.
To where are you accessing this shuttle?
I'm going to get in the driver's seat of it. I'm just going to take it for a spin. I'll be back.
Just don't wreck it, okay? We have a bad history with shuttles. And if you're going to be a hindrance to the Excalibur's crew on the planet's surface down below, sitting at morgues, tell them you're on official business. Tell me you have a
I
theory.
don't have to deal with them at all. Thank you. Bye.
Okay. Calvin hops in the shuttle. Let's do something real quick. Roll control con. Do you know how to drive a shuttle? That's good enough not to crash.
Well enough to get to the surface.
It's not flashy, but yeah, you get there.
Those
So
things pretty much drive themselves these days.
Oh, the shuttle would get to the surface one way or the other. It just depends on whether you'd be alive when you got down there.
So the shuttle lands, and there's actually a designated landing area. They've set up a base from which to work and dispatch teams into the mining colony. So
Is that near where my sensor findings are?
Not really, but
That's where I land.
But when you approach, they say land here, and people with guns are rather insistent.
You're breaking up.
Okay, here we go. You do that. Let's see how successfully you do that. Let's see. Calvin is very dedicated to his craft. So this is going to be in...
What, the Excalibur is going to shoot a Federation shuttle?
We'll see how you roll. Let's see. How about Insight Command? And roll 2D there, and we'll see.
Yep, I'm fine. I got a 10 with that roll. That's pretty high.
It could be binary. Just a 2. Let's see. Okay. So yeah, you do manage it. The Carson gets a clock that they lost comms with your shuttlecraft as it was descending. It's not going to be landing at the appropriate spot.
Really? That's
And you look
surprising.
over and you're looking at the transponder signal from the shuttle, and it's loud and clear.
Yeah, that's surprising. Thanks for the information. Cap, have you ever heard of the phrase plausible deniability?
Think about it every day.
Okay. This would be a good time to utilize that. I don't know what Calvin's doing, nor do I want to.
He's following a hunch, but I can't really command him to do anything.
Neither can the
We'll disavow him. We'll say he stole the shuttle, and I'll do some mystical, wordy bullshit and get him off the hook. I've done it a million times before.
They trained that in Starfleet, do they? Mystical wordy bullshit.
This is in chapter 3 in
All right.
Captain's Handbook.
There you go.
I got other things. I got other things to do. These are the least of my worries. I just don't want the shell to be wrecked.
Fair enough. So we're going to set something up here. Calvin, you set yourself up for this, so you're going to get it. All right. Make sure
Everything will
that
work out fine.
of course. Let's see. Now let me ask you what kit you brought with you.
Collecting, scanning, stuff like that.
Okay. Did you bring a weapon?
Maybe just a standard side phaser or whatever. Those are
Okay.
useful for cutting things sometimes.
All right. So you got a Type 1 and follow the tricorder and your normal. Okay. And this. Okay.
I've also got an unarmed strike, so I should be okay.
And we'll set this. Yep. That unarmed strike is not nearly as useful as it sounds. You got to take your arm off and hit them with it. It's really very inconvenient. See if that works. It works to the extent that. Oh, I know what's going on. Is it? Woof. Okay. Yeah, that's tricky. So it's going to be here. Yeah, it's inconvenient. Yeah. Okay. I guess we'll do that. Okay. That'll work. All right. Don't move yourself yet. I'm actually going to set this particular token up for everybody to control, so you'll be able to see what Neff sees from his perspective.
I'm not on whatever page you're looking at.
I know you're not. I haven't moved you there yet. Let's see. Having to do this on the fly. All right, I think that'll work. Let's find out. Yeah, okay, cool. So there are a little bit of sound effects. You land the shuttle outside what appears to be one of the entrances to the mining complex beneath the outpost and work your way down, following your tiny little twinge on the sensor. And it does seem to get stronger the further underground you go. It's aha. You've been researching ways to shield from this effect, right? So maybe there's something about the ground, in the ground, the construction of the building. You're not sure yet, but it might be a survivor or 2 or 3 or 10 down here. You don't know. All right. But
Let's try to work on triangulating that so I can go in the most direct route possible.
let me find it here. Let me turn it down so you don't get. That sounds terrible. All right. There is a terrible cacophony as you enter this part of the complex, and it sounds like this. All right. So I'm not going to subject you all to that for the next however long it takes, but you're not sure. The claxons going off seems like a good move, but you're not sure what triggered them because there wasn't anybody alive to trigger them. So there had to be some sort of automated system. That sparking sound, you're not really sure if that's good or bad, if that's normal down here. But it doesn't really feel like it's normal because it's raising the hair in your arms. It feels like the whole atmosphere is electrified, which is confirmed by your tricorder. The entire atmosphere down here is highly ionized. And if you sniff the air, yeah, ozone, and there's no telling what else in there. So there you go. You are down underground, probably at this point about 300 or 400 feet in a hallway full of bodies. So they just fell where they were. There's debris because this is a mine. It was hewn out of the stone. It also looks like there may have been some recent damage, which is less clear where that came from. So some of the debris is from just say the rocks because it's carved out of rock, and some of the debris is because there's rocks because it fell out of the ceiling.
So the damage is more like structural damage, like earthquake type stuff, not like local phaser fire or anything like that.
That's right.
Okay.
And if you look at the
Bodies.
bodies,
Life signs, yeah.
yeah, you should be able to move Calvin there a little bit. Don't move him a lot. Just take baby steps. And you move over to one of those, and yeah, that one's dead. And no need to roll it, but there's no apparent sign that they got shot. There's no wound that indicates a cause
Have I
of death.
figured out a signature of the genetic thing that kills people? Is there a sign of, that we can check for to know that's what got them?
It's not a genetic thing. Rather, that it's a form of radiation that interferes with brain activity.
Is there a
So,
way for me to check for that? That's what I'm getting at.
yes, and we'll give you an opportunity to do that. Calvin, roll your science stuff. It'll be, let's see, let's call it reason in science. It's one of your better ones. Sorry, I shouldn't be clicking for you. Yeah,
You're fine.
reason science and just 2D.
Yep.
Okay, it's same thing, reading control, right? Okay, yeah, definitely this individual perished because of sudden loss of brain activity.
No reality TV shows playing on a TV nearby.
No, nothing like that. No
Okay.
Hulu.
Carry on, checking around.
And yeah.
What's
Oh, wait, fire?
Is there a fire suppression system in the ceiling here?
Yeah, there should be.
Any
Yeah.
pull handles on the walls to activate them?
Actually, according to your tricorder, it's already fired.
The fire's already fired?
No, the fire suppression system's already fired. It tried to put out the fire and failed.
Gotcha. What can I read about the fire from here?
That is a piece of mining equipment, a battery, perhaps. At one point, you don't know. You're not an engineer.
One of those
But
cheap lithium batteries that gets
yeah,
little-
it just burst into flame. Some kid tried to come out and rollerboard on it, and yeah, that's all there is.
Mhm.
Boom. But to that point, you can tell that, okay, fire. So let's look at thermal readings. Oh, yeah, there's a pretty big thermal reading over here. Also, down here.
So I might consider those hot spots where fire is actively going on that was failed to suppress.
That's right.
In what direction is my latest reading of life signs?
Let's see. I got to turn your preview off. Your best guess is that it's here-ish. I'll give you a kind of a box.
Okay, so there's a fire to west and southeast.
And also directly in front of you,
Okay.
if you look far enough to the south, is a really formidable looking fire that's green.
Is there, I'm going to move down south a little and see if I see a way off to the right from where I'm looking, which would be west on the map toward the life
Yeah.
signs.
There should be a way
Before fire spreads.
down here. And these other fires seem pretty stable, but this one down here is wild and just undulating. You're not sure what the cause of it is, and you need another good roll to understand what the fire itself is, what matter of material and flame that you're looking at there.
All right, can I scan it as I go toward the door?
Yep, sure can. So let's see do your science thing. Same roll as you just did.
Okay. I got the same result. So
That is an active plasma fire. Apparently, and you don't, again, you're no engineer, but somewhere on this level or nearby, there must be an active power generator. In Star Trek, power is transmitted through plasma. Plasma
Right.
conduits carry the energized plasma everywhere it needs to go. It seems fairly freaking dangerous, but for
Right.
high power
we're
applications,
typing on, right?
yeah. But for high power applications such as the Starship or maybe a mining facility with lasers doing mining and drilling, it makes sense. It's like super high voltage line, superconducting high voltage line.
Is there one of those convenient maps on the wall showing fire exit routes and with a marked line that says control room here?
This mining outpost is not OSHA approved.
So disappointing. Well, I'm going to keep going to this door.
Okay.
And I want to go in there. And like I said, my goal here is to try to get to the life sign before fire spreads.
All right.
Or maybe find a control room now that I know what the nature of the fire is.
So let's take a look at this thing. You have a lamp, and it's pointing the wrong way. So let me do something about that. Hold on a sec.
Oh.
We've got comms down here for some reason, so I can.
Yeah, you have the storm. Yeah, the storm's all over you. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't see screen.
So you're good. You're just listening to Calvin.
The
Yeah.
plasma fire is probably interfering.
So let me deal with your light issue. It looks like that needs to be, the center is at 180. Let's see what the problem is. There you go. You got a flashlight now.
Oh, nice.
So you see that there looks like doors off to the side. There were lights in this section, but if you'll notice that the floor is particularly damaged by whatever has happened. So it looks like this section, like Chris's house, the lights are flickering.
Yeah. Proceed carefully, watching for structural damage. I can't tell if there's doors north or south.
Yeah, there are. Hold on. Let me mark them for you. Basically, they're...
I'm reading for life signs. If I see one go south or north of me, I'll take that door.
Okay, fair enough. Why don't you roll, and this is not a tricorder roll. This is Calvin being adventurous Calvin. Let's see, daring security. And again, 2 dice.
Yep,
So
I'm not
you
good at being daring or secure.
Okay. A sudden rumble, like an earthquake, shakes the facility, and a bit of the ceiling falls on your head.
Ow.
Ow.
I was hoping it would hit my shin and I'd fall down and hold my shin going, ow.
Yeah. So let's give you an appropriate amount of owie for that. Yeah, we'll call it borrow Brickland here. That's good. That's way more than. Really? That's okay. Just the first 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So you take 6 damage and are knocked down, trapped by the stone.
Ow. Trapped? No way I can work it off.
Oh yeah, of course you can work it out. That's why I asked you what your kit was. You brought all sorts of toys.
Excellent.
You just had to tell me how you're going to do it.
If I have hands available to get at the rock, maybe try to cut pieces off so it's movable.
Okay, cut it off with.
I don't know, phaser maybe.
That'll work. Let's see how you do that. How many points did you have, actually?
I don't even know if I have hit points.
You do. 2, 4, 5, 6, 7. You have 10. So you just took 6 of your 10.
All right.
By having a big section of ceiling
Where do you see
crunch. It's in your character sheet stress.
Oh, stress.
Yeah, that's quote unquote hit points.
I gotcha. All right.
Yeah. Okay. So for this one, let's get another daring security roll.
Oh, that's terrible.
This is the stuff you're not good at. Okay. You're so stressed out, you can't focus. You fire off the phaser. You're heating up the whole damn rock. You're not slicing through it like you're expecting. You don't want to heat up the whole damn rock because it's laying on you. That would hurt.
True. Maybe something in my collection kit will let me be more precise with it. I don't know what kind of tools they have.
Oh, you've got a med kit. You've got laser scalpel. You can try that. Yeah,
We'll try that.
you can. Yeah.
Just something
So-
where I can maybe break a piece off the rock and make it where I can shove it.
Yeah. So let's see a medical type roll, or at least a science roll. So you're back to reason science, which is your best one.
There we go.
Oh, yeah. Okay, there you go. So you're not having much luck with the phaser except making the damn rock hot. No, I don't want that. I want cooked.
But at least I'm not cold.
Yeah, not anymore. Yeah, okay. Here, let's get this damn thing collection. Yeah, okay, this is working. It takes time, but you sure enough, you chunk probably like a 200-pound bit of that thing just right off the side. And you're able to rotate and roll under it.
It's really too bad I inspire so much faith from my crewmates that they'll never think to check on me.
Plausible deniability, bud.
We have officially lost communications with you so that our logs match the Excaliburs.
Oh no. Anyways.
Oh my God. So when you roll out from under that guy, let me find him real quick. You look up the corridor. You notice that your recorder has been beeping for a couple of minutes. It's the life science thing that you've been trying to find.
Right.
You found him. Up the corridor is a Klingon. Looks like he's been through hell. Bruised, bloodied, and apparently has had bits of ceiling fall on him too. He is not dressed in traditional Klingon warrior garb, but looks more like a civilian. If that's
I'll
even
wave at him.
possible. No, he's got a disruptor pointed at you.
I'll wave
And
slowly.
he's been watching. Apparently, he's been watching you.
I'll wave slowly. Can you understand me?
He just nods.
Are you alone in here?
He doesn't answer.
Is anybody hurt that needs help? I'll tap my medical kit.
He looks down at himself, looks back up at you. That seems to indicate two people are down here that need help.
We can walk. Anybody need help getting out of here? There's a fire.
He can't walk. You notice that he's actually crawling on the ground.
Oh, that was a key
Yeah, I'm sorry.
point of that. But yeah, I can help you out of here. Is anybody else with you?
He doesn't answer. You very much get the distrusting vibe. He hadn't said a word yet, but he hadn't shot you either.
Slowly walk toward him and try to help his leg. See if he needs a splint or something.
He does. In fact, the leg's broken, but he allows you to treat it the whole time holding the disruptor in your general direction, although it looks like he's wavering a bit. It's your impression that this guy is not big, tough warrior type.
Oh, yeah, I could tell because he wasn't dressed like a warrior.
And not waving a bat lift in your face and stuff like that. So, yeah.
He didn't shoot me right away, so that's a very good sign. Standard Klingon behavior. All right.
But
looking at my tricorder for life signs, how many are left on it other than the one next to me?
This is it. This is what you've been picking up.
Only one.
Only one.
I'll point at it. So it looks like you're the only one. Let me get you out of here. And I'll offer a hand to haul him out of the base.
Then he kind of narrows his eyes at you and says, "What have they done?"
You have to be more precise, but for now, let's walk. Fire's coming.
So, yeah, he kind of, you help him up to that foot. And he kind of hops along. That's when you, as your flashlight sweeps across the wall, you see the sign that says Brig. So, yeah, this guy was a prisoner.
Or a guard. You don't know. Don't judge so quick.
You're right. You shouldn't judge. But I will say that something kind of clicks, and let's get one of your science rolls and see if it clicks well enough.
Okay.
Reason science. Yeah. You're just reliable with those.
Most of my stuff that I would roll with science have the same value.
Yep. So, wait a minute. If he wasn't a guard, let's just take the stereotype for a minute, and was a prisoner, modern prisons have energized
Shielding, yeah.
shielding.
I'm hearing what you're putting down.
Yeah, okay.
Kept himself safe by being in prison.
Yeah.
All right, we'll
So-
get to the shuttle.
Let's see.
While walking out, I'll politely ask you not to shoot me. We're gonna get out of here and
So let's see.
get us
Where,
both seen to by proper medical personnel.
okay. So yeah, you back out, helping him along, and he hasn't seen a body yet, so he doesn't necessarily know what's happened above. He's been down here for days, which is pretty remarkable. You don't know how tough Klingons are, but your impression is they're pretty damn tough. But even they can't go without food and water forever. So you back out.
I didn't get my leg broken when I got hit by the rock. He did, so he's obviously weaker than me.
Uh-oh. Looks like that fire spread a bit.
Dang. Are there teleporters on our shuttles?
None of the shuttles.
Is there any kind of fire suppression portable units in any lockers along the way?
Yeah, let's let you roll something to find those. I would think reason security, maybe even reason engineering. Yeah, reason engineering.
I like
Guess
that
it's a
one better,
pretty just
There you
standard
go.
sort of thing. That works. Yeah, there should be several. It's Mr. Pegg and Mr. Meeks' day job actually to do stuff like this. To put,
Yeah.
have those at convenient locations.
Squared manufacturing. Interesting.
There you go. CM2. You got it. That's right. CC2 or C squared? C2M. That's the one. So you do find one, but it looks puny compared to this huge blaze. Is this really going to work? You don't know. But the Klingon, they looks at you and looks at the blaze and looks at the suppressants.
So we're gonna have to move fast. It's the only thing stopping us from getting out of here.
Yeah, he looks at his leg. A little difficult.
Nothing worth doing is ever easy. Let's see if we can get out.
Okay, a daring engineering roll.
Rough. Is there any momentum I can burn?
Not yet.
Dang.
Sorry. You have the determination stuff if you want to burn those. Yeah,
You could burn threat,
that's right.
which gives you get extra rolls, but then that gives Matt extra rolls later.
You don't know what your Klingon friend's going to do with that.
Yeah. How's the determination work?
It basically adds up. You have 3 points of determination that you can spend freely on extra rolls. No guarantee that you get them back, but yeah, I think force points.
Okay. Well, I'll burn one.
All right.
That gives me just one more task roll.
And threat, as he said,
All right.
you can mix and match. Oh boy.
Got a one. One's better than none.
Okay. So here's what happens. You and your Klingon patient, we'll call him. And this is the first time he gets out in this corridor and he sees bodies for the first time. They actually did it. That's all he says. They actually did it. And you're not sure whether he's happy about that or angry or sad or what, but there'll be time perhaps to evaluate that later. But you get to this point and the heat is just too intense to proceed any further. So it's okay, now or never. You do your best. You wield the thing. You're moving up into it. Let me move it to the back. Move it to the back. Move to back. So we can move you. I still can't move you. Okay, I'm going to get this thing out of the way so I can.
I see it worked. The fire went away.
Still there. But hopefully it's enough for you to squeeze by.
Yep, that's gonna suck. We'll do it.
It's going to suck. Think about what? Okay. Seriously, to the back of the stack. And then, yeah, now I can pick up Calvin. All right. So you get to this spot. Let's get a daring security roll from you.
I don't know why you want me to roll those. I'll try one more determination.
Okay.
Oh, good.
Whoa. Okay. So the fire flares up briefly as you're right there. So you do one of the little karate rolls and you're through it.
I've seen this on training videos, and I do that combat roll Kirk does.
That's right. That's it.
Past it.
And then your friend waits for it to flare down again, and then hops, tries to roll, and it comes on through. So it's like one of those silly trap that you get on Skyrim. And once in a while, the flame just is just
Well,
at
the
the
next
time
hallway
right.
has the mashers.
Yeah, and the swinging pendulums. You got to watch out for those.
Yeah.
So you do manage to get out with your new friend. And when you get to this point, let's see. He's not going to have any, he's not going to be able to do it well, but he's going to try to.
How does he have a disruptor if he was a prisoner?
The
I don't know why
brig.
stored it. Never mind.
You take the time to ask him?
No, I'm just curious.
The brig also contains his personal effects.
Okay.
Miners didn't have the thought to not store the weapon in the same room as the prisoner, but there it is. All right, so let's see here. We're gonna do this. He's gonna do that, but because he's hobbling along, he only gets one there. All right.
We're all perfectly fine.
Now, just to be clear, you didn't disarm him, right?
No, why would I?
He just
Feel
disarmed you.
safer with his disruptor on him. People feel safer, more agreeable.
Okay. He is attempting to disarm you. We'll put it that way. So did you want to stop him? Remember, he still has a disruptor.
Sure, you can have a phaser if you like it. The disruptor's better. Follow me.
Stop. Who are you?
I am Calvin.
You are Starfleet.
I work with them loosely.
What ship?
Shoot, I forgot the name.
Which is probably in character, actually.
Carson.
I know. Calvin doesn't remember. It's the one of the 3 in orbit.
3 starships?
Oh, yeah.
What other classes?
Classes? They're all bigger than the ship I was on.
Women's studies?
Look, I don't know much about the ship size stuff. I'm just a scientist. Let's get out of here before more fire shows up. Come on. There's 300 feet to the out exit.
The perfect time, perfect reason to have this conversation now.
Okay.
Do you know what happened here?
Oh, yeah. Some experimental weapon killed everybody.
He tilts his head at you at that. Experimental weapon.
Yep.
Tell me of it.
You're very lucky to be alive.
The brig. The force field.
I'm assuming. It makes a lot of sense.
Then how did you find me?
I have a very good scanner.
Why are you here alone?
Why are you here alone?
Let's go. It looks like the pain's starting to get to him. So sure enough, you hobble back up to, you're going to have to take stairs.
Yeah.
300 feet of stairs. And he is, oh my God. So he's just in agony by the time you crawl out of this thing. You're huffing and puffing. You're tired. You're not the physical sort.
True. Plus, I had a rock hit me in the head.
Yeah, you had a rocket in it, so you're not feeling so great either. It's when you get to the surface that you see a security team from the Excalibur is picking over Carson's shuttlecraft. And an ensign sees you and says, Are you all right? Wait, stop. They all level their weapons at the Klingon, who still has his disruptor and phaser.
I interject myself halfway, not all the way, but halfway in front of him with my hands up, say, hold on.
You want to give them something to aim at if they're not convinced.
Exactly.
Okay.
But I also hopefully will calm things down.
So
I look at him, I'll be like, hey, you really outnumbered, but if you go with my plan, we'll be okay.
He realizes he's very outnumbered, but we'll see how this goes down. Starting with your insight command roll.
Insight command.
No, actually, presence command. That's the right one. This is a presence roll, not insight.
Presence. Yeah, I don't have any command.
Okay. It's the way it has to happen. So the security team lead sees you, sees him, sees his weapons, and you're about to do that. You have the thought, I'm going to interject myself and they'll stop firing. They don't stop firing. They shoot you both on stun.
I'm okay with that.
Clock. You get a call from this ensign from the Excalibur saying that they've recovered the shuttlecraft, and apparently there was one of your crewmen aboard. We shot him.
Was it
That
Calvin?
wasn't very nice.
Like, I can just imagine the pot. You shot who? Is he dead?
Oh, wait, you shot. Okay.
No, we have a perfectly good explanation. It sounds like he's really in CYA mode right now, but no, he's still breathing and everything. Our medic says that he's perfectly fine.
Well,
it was a
okay.
Klingon that we were trying to hit.
Wait.
He was being chased by a Klingon.
What? He was being chased by a Klingon.
That's how he explains it.
Clock's putting this on speaker, so everyone in the room hears this shit.
Could you give me the signature of that shuttle? The number,
You only
so
have
we can
two.
know?
You only have two, and it was a personnel shuttle.
Okay.
The thing is that
plausible deniability. I'm trying to make them give me the proof that it's Calvin.
That's the new name of the shuttlecraft. It's the PD. It's the plausible deniability. So
I'm looking for that thing.
Yeah, but the ensign goes on. So we thought he was being chased by the Klingon. That's when we noticed the cast. We're pretty sure that he actually had the Klingon had as a prisoner. We're
okay.
Anyway, the important thing is they're both okay, and we're gonna get them beat up.
So a Starfleet
Was making the prisoner carry his gun.
So a Starfleet officer appears before you with a Klingon prisoner, and you've shot them both. Am I getting the?
It's not like that. It's not like that at all. The Klingon was chasing him slowly.
Wait, the Klingon had the cast?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay.
It's like everyone on the bridge is just like turned in their seats, staring, listening in on this.
When our crew member is okay, could you please give him the keys back to the shuttle and send him back up to us, please?
No, we've already taken the shuttle's already en route.
That'll
be
okay
arriving
then.
soon. Yeah.
Okay, that's okay.
Odd name
then,
for a shuttle plot. You get stenciled PD on the side of it, but we're going to beam these two to the Excalibur sickbay and to be looked over, and then we have them right back over to Carson.
Okay, as long as we've got our shuttle back, we'll give us Calvin at your convenience.
Okay. It looks like that ensign was thinking this call would go a lot worse than it did, even though it didn't go great. So he quickly cuts it off, and it leaves you to report. Of course, you turn around and the whole damn bridge crew is like, "What the hell?" Yeah.
You see me get up and like, I'm gonna expect a phone call from the Excalibur.
And then Clock, you're being hailed by the Excalibur. That took about 5 seconds.
Damn, he beat me. We'll take it here then.
Captain, Excalibur on screen for you.
So
I was expecting it to be the Klingons on screen.
The Klingons are in charge of Excalibur now. So it's Harris. He's sitting in the captain's chair, and I'm confused, but happy to report that we're going to be returning one of your crewmen shortly. But I don't know why my crewman shot him. Captain, I want to assure you that we're going to look into this.
Thank God we put him on stun first before we set to kill. All's fair in love and war. I'm just glad the shuttle's not destroyed. And I am just as confused as you are.
And there it is. Plausible deniability. So that ends that. Harris doesn't press as to why Calvin was there or what happened with the shuttlecraft. He does not hand over the Klingon immediately because his own security people want to take the opportunity to talk. But Calvin returns. Calvin, you wake up in sickbay, and you're like surrounded by people who are near death, and there you are, have been hit by a rock and stunned.
Wait, don't shoot. What? How did I get here?
And Dr. Mallory is over there with a phaser.
They shot.
All I can imagine is as soon as he wakes up, oh, thank God we need this bed, just knocks him out of it.
Yeah, it's limited space there. Yeah, you've got heads wrapped up in the they got you all sutured, but you're good.
Where's my friend?
He's on the Excalibur.
He knows stuff. We need him.
That's probably why they kept him.
They don't know he knows stuff.
They probably figure he knows stuff.
Who can I talk to about this?
So some anonymous orderly says that.
Yes.
I get out of bed and go find someone I could complain to about this.
The first person is Dr. Mallory.
Dr.
Can I
Mallory's
shoot
not
him?
helpful.
You're a doctor. That's your job. You've got all sorts of hyposprays. Just pick one.
So I'm on the Carson already before I even woke up. Okay.
Yeah.
I'm like, damn it, where'd he go? He knew something. So I heard him talking under his breath. I was like, oh, excellent.
Yeah, he was going
all
to,
that work to build
fix
rapport,
flares.
and that got shot all to hell. Literally. Where's the cat? Never mind. I'll find him. And I'll walk off.
Okay.
Then
So
comedic open the door. There I am. Ah, there you are.
Yeah, you found the captain. He's right there.
Turn toward the captain. He knows stuff. We need him on our ship.
Who knows what stuff and who's on what ship?
The Klingon I was with, that I built all that rapport with and saved, and is now grateful to me and thinks of me as a friend, knows stuff.
Second base.
Didn't you get him shot?
No, he got me shot technically. That's just camaraderie building exercises.
You
gotta
literally gave
understand how these things work.
you gave the man your gun. What did you expect the security team to do?
He had a
Give
gun
him-
already.
Give him theirs.
What
you
are they
gave
gonna
him the
say?
other one?
He's more armed. Come on.
Is he a mutant? Does he have 3 or 4 now?
But for real, he knows stuff. We need to talk to him.
First, let me be the first person on the ship to say, "Oh, thank God you're okay and you're safe." Let me just give him a big old hug. You are in so
Ow,
much
ow,
shit.
ow,
You fucking asshole. Don't you go-
Hey, if you ran into a plasma fire, what would you do?
I wouldn't be in the situation where I'd have to run into the plasma fire.
See, that's just sad. You don't know how to
Senior
live.
Chief Luz, who's in one of those beds, though, says, "Yeah, you generally avoid those."
Because they hurt. And those scars really don't go away.
Thanks.
But anyway, I am informing you of the guy that knows stuff.
Yes, they're being very
Really-
the man with the rubber glove is being very gentle with him right now at the Excalibur. We were waiting for you to come out of your little stunned coma so we could go over there and have a little chit-chat conference of what the hell happened.
Oh, I get it. Like good Starfleet, bad Starfleet. Okay. I'll go get some coffee and walk into the room with it and act like, here, you look like you could use the coffee.
Yeah, you do that. All right. Got your shit?
I think he looks down, doesn't really have anything, shrugs, and walks off in the direction you indicated.
Okay.
You're supposed to say, no, I dropped it all when they stunned me.
They did return it with them, yes.
The guy even cleaned your phaser for you. Even put the nice sheen of oil on there. I'd write a thank you note for that guy.
Okay.
Is that the guy that shot me?
I think they all shot you.
They all fired.
You were asleep for a long time.
I would like to write them thank you notes. How about giving me a list of their names?
I'm sure you'll get that when we go over there with the situation report. That's available for all.
And on that sit rep, the ensign insists that you are being chased by the Klingon in the cast.
And it clearly states the Klingon immediately raises his weapon and says, I'll kill him. I'll kill him.
Or he said something, but it was in Klingon. We didn't understand, so we shot him. So, yeah.
We took it as an immediate threat. We felt our lives were in danger, and we reacted.
That's right.
With less lethal force.
So there you go. This was Calvin's adventure in the mine. All right.
Oh, my Christ. I was crying earlier.
You somehow run across Starfleet's version of Barney 5.
So, yeah, you go over to the Excalibur. Captain Harris is there to meet you in the transporter room. He's actually been wanting to talk to you face-to-face, Belmont, for other things. This is an unusual situation. So he felt as a courtesy, he would make sure to meet the person that got shot and get your side of the story. So takes the three of you go into a conference room with a yeoman, and he basically just asks, "This is not a formal inquiry. I just would like your side of the story."
I creak and moan as I sit down, let lower myself.
Calvin has big bandages on.
Yeah, I know.
Walking with a limp with a cane.
Like, oh.
As soon as he hears it's not a formal inquiry, he's like, shit. He just takes it all off.
You didn't leave sick bay with all that on.
Yeah. Didn't that fix you up over in your sick bay? Do we need to put you down on ours? What's going on here? Yeah.
This would be a good time to note the Alexander Shannara sign floating by outside the window.
Which is
Call me, Starfleet.
Call me, Starfleet. That's right. So now you have 5 people. You have the 2 captains, you have a yeoman, and a lawyer.
I saw on my sensors a signal of a life.
Stop! Don't talk. Don't tell them anything.
As my client, I encourage you not to tell him anything.
That's right. This dastardly deed will not go.
Weak. It looked to be a rapidly expiring life sign. I knew time was of the essence, so I went to go find it. Despite finding an area full of plasma fires, I was able to make my way to the source of the signal and found out it was a Klingon. The Klingon was in bad condition, couldn't even walk, yet was very reasonable when spoken to. Listened to anything I asked of them, and was muttering under their breath information that seemed very vital. I proceeded to provide medical aid and assist them on escaping the encroaching plasma fires. And then Starfleet security shot us.
Repeatedly.
So, Dr. Akis?
Akis.
Thank you. I apologize. I want to ask this, that when you detected the presence of life signs on the surface, that you took it upon yourself, despite having the resources of 2 starships and 655 highly trained Starfleet personnel, to drive a shuttlecraft down there yourself.
I don't have any resources at my hands. I just work here. I don't even know how many of you are on the ship.
Clearly something that needs to change.
I don't see what knowing how many people are on the ship would do good for me. Do you know what I do? I provide you with scanners that help you find horrible weapons that are in every ship in the whole fleet somehow. Through
You do more than that. You're actually a rescue service as well.
That's
and
right.
Also a training mannequin for our medical service.
Yes, I don't like the last part so much.
Yeah. Captain Harris looks over at you, Belmont, and all right, I almost understand it. Did you have anything to add?
So if that was his actual description of the whole incident, I'd be like, was the Klingon exposed to what ravaged the colony? And then get that answer. But that would be the only thing I would ask to make sure. Other than that, I'm just going to roll my eyes and be like, he's good at finding things that normally we wouldn't be looking at. That is for sure. And he does have a bit of a mind of his own. And since he doesn't really have to go through proper chain of command, even though he probably should, I'm like elbowing him every time he tries to open his mouth. Shut up. Shut up.
Yeah. So
Harris, say, my captain, you said I didn't know.
It's like the Gibbs smack in NCIS back of the head.
So Harris just takes it in and shakes his head and says, all right, I'm glad you're back. I'm glad you're all right. And I
do have this pain now. Since
we've got a lawyer right in the hall that you can talk to you about that.
Yeah, I was told as long as my friend gets released to our ship that we can not worry about any kind of investigation of the methodologies used by your people on the ground. So that's cool. I'm okay with that.
Oh, no. There is most definitely going to be an investigation of the methodologies of my crew on the ground.
Nah, it's not necessary. Like I said, so long as you release the source of information to our ship, we're okay. You don't have to worry about it.
Things have now been set in motion that cannot be undone.
That's pretty much it. Harris just looks at Calvin with a little bit of exasperation and looks over at you, Belmont, and says, I'm sure you understand why there will be an investigation of why a security team shot these two.
Yes, Captain, I do. I think it's just the stun juice working its way out of Calvin's system, as you can understand.
There is a lot of stun juice in me for some reason.
I'm sure it'll wear off, but
I'm
sure he understands that everything is fine.
Smack.
Just like shaking the shit out of him.
Stop.
And wow, I don't even feel that where you're pushing me. All the feeling's not back yet.
Is my arm even attached? Way to go. Yeah, all right.
Great, I got nerve damage.
Yeah.
It keeps getting better. You just hear someone like out in the hallway, he's got nerve damage, huh?
Yeah, add 3 million to it. All right. So Harris then says that the individual that you brought back is a high value target. Someone that we've been looking for a while. A Klingon scientist. I know that's not something you hear every day, but let's see. A fellow by the name of, and as you suspect, he knows things. So we're going to be taking him back with us to Gander Station to turn over to Starfleet for a full evaluation.
Is that wise? He's friendly with me. Maybe I could just talk to him for a while.
You're welcome to talk to him, but he's already pretty much divulged the important things that we needed to know, that he was part of a weapons program that was based on these devices that you have been instrumental in helping to locate. He really didn't think that they would actually use them, and certainly not for the intended purpose that we suspect that they will. Also, he suspects they will. And he looks over at you, Belmont. Yeah, he seems to confirm your theory. So well done. Sorry that you got shot.
Oh, you said I can talk to him? All right. And I get to start heading a certain direction. Maybe someone will correct me as I correct. So I know I can go where I go.
Ensign, will you direct him to the brig? Yes, sir.
Ensign looks toward me and say, don't shoot. Just kidding. Carry on.
She's what? Totally different ensign, but yeah. By the way, the Excalibur is way bigger than the Carson. It seems to take
See, I knew it
forever
was
to get
bigger.
there.
I just don't know what class it is. So what's the big
Yeah.
deal?
It's a big ship. So you're off and going to talk to this fella. Harris turns to Belmont. That kind of seals it for us. If all this information that we're getting in is accurate, and I at this point don't have any reason not to believe that it is. That guy wasn't there as a plant. I think he just lucked out. They expected him to die.
Agreed. It's not really the answer I was hoping to hear. This makes it harder to find our target.
And there's another question as to what do we do about it now that we have this information and some cooperation. We could approach the Klingons with it, but I'm sure that'll go well.
We can do a bit of both. We keep our channels informed, move forward with our plan to contact and reinforce the Sadat. And if you do take him back to Starbase, there is a certain Klingon ambassador that might like to know this information, because out of everyone there, he definitely does not want these plans to go forth and usurp the power of the Klingon Empire. He has a lot to lose. He's a Klingon, but I think he does want some sort of ceasefire, which is good enough for me.
Yeah, and me.
So I'd say send our reports to our channels, take them there, let them haggle whoever wants them. Maybe use it as a bargaining chip. Maybe that'll get the Klingon Empire to actually do something against these insurgents.
It's above our pay grade now. This thing turned from bonfire into something that could just, gosh, what a mess. He says again. All right. Well, Captain, it looks like we're gonna wrap up what we need to do on the planet. Probably about 12 hours. And if your reports say that you'll be ready to get underway in under 10, I don't think we have any time to lose.
Indeed.
So as soon as we can, we'll head towards and try to rendezvous with the Sadat. And with any luck, nothing happens on the way. I'm not sure that we're quite prepared to fight this battle yet.
I don't think we were either. I think this was a stroke of luck, if you believe in that. I don't think the Klingons were expecting the von Steuben to survive in the capacity that it was, and I don't think they were expecting us to put up as much of a fight as we did.
Luck or skill, we'll take it either way. And he escorts you back out to the transporter room and says, when your doctor is done talking to this Klingon, I'll have him transported over.
Thank you, sir.
And as you're beaming out, you see him turn away and shake his head again. And he goes, what a mess.
As I'm beaming on board the car, says, yeah, he's had a rough day.
Okay. And that's where we'll pause, click it. All right. Perfect.
I'll text you my breakout plans for the Klingon.
You get the lawyer to kind of hold the door open, okay, I see how this is going to go.
I'm going to get a tattoo with the Enterprise or Excalibur's layout, and that way I'll know how to get out once I'm in.
Yeah, I get word from the teleport room. Sir, Calvin's wanting to beam aboard the Excalibur. Deny. No, he's grounded.
Now there's an Excalibur shuttlecraft coming our way. No, stop it. Put a tractor beam on it. Keep it away. Yeah.
Fling it back.
There's some guy in a spacesuit that's kind of swimming towards us. I don't know how.
Dear God, bring him on board. I want to figure out how he's defied physics. We need this technology.
Okay, good deal. Yeah, the adventures of Calvin.
What was the Klingon's name they found?
See, Krethok.
Instead of Calvin and Hobbes, it's Calvin and
Yeah, Calvin and Krethok, yeah.
Hobbes is his middle name.
Oh, God. That's all I can
That's pretty
imagine.
good.
I can see the comic strip now.
Yeah, they're building a whole field of snowmen with batless.
I've seen those.
Yeah.
Good deal. Thanks, everybody. And
Star Trek Online Christmas event.
Yeah, exactly.
actually, yeah, that's true.
Galaxy
tonight.
Guardian Galaxy's Christmas thing that came out recently. It was pretty good.
Can't have too much bacon. But that was close.
Yeah, I got a little too meta.
Yeah.
It's better than Star Wars' previous holiday event.
Anything's better than that.
He walks everywhere. So who's up next time? The curse. The curse of
More
Strahd.
adventures in the Death House.
This should be equally interesting.
As we play Find the Baby.
Yeah.
The comment on the Death House. The only comment that the only thing I've heard is the Death House is a little too much aptly named.
Yeah. All right. Good show, guys. We'll
Good
catch you
night.
next week.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, everybody. Y'all take care. Bye-bye.
Good night,
All
y'all.
right.
Good night.
Night.
Bye.
Night, y'all.
Good night.